All right, everybody. Welcome back to our last hour here. So, let's start with, you know what? Let's have a meal. Go and visit, Frederico de Padua. And, Tamala Pakame. So you'll find them in their room. Frederico, of course, will be kind of sitting on a chair, effectively. A little out of place in the hotel room. Definitely. Like a man out of place. Tamalapake will not be found in the room currently.
That's to be expected.
What is it that you need of me? It is not time for this event. Has Francisco come? Is my prey here?
Francisco did come, right? Out of character?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Francisco is here.
You do know that he was accompanied by a man named Tally the Hound.
Yeah. He was also accompanied by someone named Tally the Hound.
That man is another dangerous man of the Sabbat. It will make things more difficult if they are together. Not impossible, but more difficult. This place is protected. I will respect that, but we must plan for when he is leaving here.
Yes. Lots of plans are to go down when people leave. As you guess, you're not the only one who we have deals with.
He's just gonna kind of give a look towards you and then so, why have you visited me now, other than to tell me that my prey has arrived and is in the same hotel, same city as me, and within my grasp? Justice is within my grasp. If I am only patient for a few more days, it shall be brought.
Mostly just checking in on those who we have dealings with. Make sure everything's alright. Let them know what's going on.
I will make plans for an attack. You do the same. Remember, I expect you and your friends to be there when it is time.
Very well.
I will keep you informed of what I build as a plan. You do the same. We will find some common ground to ambush and kill this man. In the name of the Camarilla. In the name of what is right. In the name of revenge. Many names. Justice. Revenge.
And this thing, what was the other guy's name?
Tally.
Tally. There it is. I saw it right when anyway. And this Tally. What can you tell us of them?
He is the Sombra. Many know of him. He has had dealings in many areas. He has worked with Francisco before. He is East Coast, like Francisco. They say that he is currently in Washington, D.C. most of the time. Though there have been other words of things going on. So just be careful.
Any skills or talents that he has that we may need to know about?
He is dangerous for a number of reasons. He's not quite like I. But he is still dangerous. A hunter of the night.
Very well. Well, let us know what you have planned, and we'll let you know what we have planned.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that's probably about it.
Okay. So Nathan, how about we do you next? We'll just go counterclockwise. You were heading to meet with Helena Panhard.
Neither Francisco nor Emil are very good at socializing.
Good or interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, sorry, finishing my notes.
Yep.
All right.
You'll go and knock on the door. She has probably like one of the like penthouse suites. She manages to have managed to get a hold of that rather than just a simple room. Charles will. Oh, it's you. Hi.
Did you get your name tag, Charles?
Not yet.
Ah. All right. I would very much like to see my prince.
Right this way.
Thank you, Charles.
He'll lead you inside. Helen will be kind of sitting around. Ah, Nathan.
My prince?
Nathan?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason I've come here beyond helping you in your tasks, and perhaps you can assist me. You see, something has been going on behind the scenes, and this is not to leave this room because the potential of it could be a major power shift between the Sabbat and the Camarilla.
Should Charles leave then?
No. Charles is my most trusted advisor, personal assistant. He will know. As is my...
Of course.
Now, unfortunately, I was unable to bring my sheriff, but I brought these two as representations of him, and they are fine to know also. But beyond those here, we shouldn't know. But I know that you are attempting to do something with one Francesco di Polona. That's fine. But you must beware the man known as the Hound.
Tally?
Yes, Tally. You see, there's been a secret negotiation between a large group of La Sombra from the Sabbat to defect from the Sabbat and join the Camarilla. Tally is their man. I'm supposed to be meeting with him during this entire event to help try to negotiate this. So if you do anything to De Polona, avoid doing anything to him.
Would you be kind enough to let me know when this meeting is about to take place? As that seems like the best time to deal with Polona.
I've arranged for the meeting to take place the night after your event. Since your event will most likely be very late at night and take up most of the evening, only few will be leaving during the next day, and of course, next night too. Potentially, the protections that you've arranged will stay until a couple of days after the event.
All right.
I would like for this negotiation to be successful. If these Lasombra, which it does seem from the dealings we've had so far, are honest about changing, it could mean a lot. There's a reason why that man gave up his position as bishop in the last decade.
Interesting.
We all thought it strange when he gave up a position of power and settled into serving someone in Washington, D.C. But this group seemed to be centered there. Marcus Vittel is the former Prince of Washington. He's been the one that's been negotiating for us. He is Lasombra anti-tribute, similar to the Prince of London, and has served the Camarilla quite well for many years. My position here will get me much higher standing within the Camarilla. And perhaps I could shower some of this down onto you, Nathan. New York's a fine city, but there are greater things that I could attain to. And of course, I would take my court with me, and I would need good hands to lead the city in, if everything goes right.
Of course.
Then know this. I'm sure your attack will be taking place on the same day. Same night. Just make sure Tally remains safe. And don't tell the Padua. He would never forgive them. Exactly.
Very well.
He has too much bad blood in his veins, and as there is plenty of bad blood, I lost my sire to them. But I'm willing, in these trying times, these modern times, to let things go, if it means strengthening our group.
Excellent.
Well then.
If you would be so kind as to let me know when your meeting is, like, the timing of your meeting, then we can coordinate so that
I'll keep you informed.
Excellent. There are several groups here, of whom I sadly have little or no knowledge, and I was wondering if you could provide any background on them.
Perhaps.
Or context. I have, at your suggestion, been avoiding Mr. Ballard of Chicago, but it appears that a gentleman named Juggler and a couple of his friends are here. And I was wondering if you knew anything of the Anarch situation in Chicago.
Since the Anarchs attempted to take Chicago by force, there have been a lot of tensions within the city between the two elements. Anarchs are under the Camarilla, but not officially part of us, as you're aware. They haven't quite formed their third faction in everything that's going on. And if all else fails, they would be more aligned with us. At very least, on an average basis, we and the Anarchs can get along. Unfortunately, when things come to blows like this, the woman that's with him, Mal Davis, I believe she's here for getting on Horatio's nerves to a degree. I'm pretty sure that Juggler, the man, is here for some form of business. Maybe something that is up in this auction has interested them. These are old items here. It seems as though that your connections was able to get quite a list of items that many within the supernatural community would be interested in. There does seem to be a who's who of folks that are drawn out. There's a few groups that I'm surprised we haven't seen representation of. Or maybe they just weren't interested.
If you don't mind my asking, who are those?
Kui Yaling,
Mm-hmm.
that woman, she's dangerous. She's Kuai Jin. They are similar to us, but from Asia. They've made headways in spreading to other parts of the world, including into places like Los Angeles. They've had a deal with them. She is in charge of everything in America related to the Kuai Jin, at least currently.
And so you expected her not to show up? Or you hadn't expected her to show up?
I wasn't expecting the Kuai Jin to be interested in Western artifacts. Eastern, yes. But these are Western items. Again, we are similar that we could be both in a way called a vampire. Though kindred as we are quite different than Kuai Jin. And they like to say it. The only other one I'm aware of is that I've heard tales from the Prince of New Orleans. He knows that woman, Questelmala. She is a leader of a very powerful group within the city in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Between her and the Garus, there's been a number of conflicts. She's, I believe they say she's Ananasi. I'm pretty sure her fellow is also. Are you aware of the were spiders?
I was briefly told about them at some point in the past. I would appreciate the benefit of your more complete knowledge.
I don't know a lot about them, only that they are said to be able to change into a swarm of spiders. That they drink blood similar to us. Now, the conflicts within Louisiana have been great, as it seems that she has managed to create a colony of her kind there. Much to the chagrin of the Garu of the city, which has caused a number of problems, mainly from us. Not that we haven't had conflicts with her growth, but most of the time the city does remain at peace with her. Our community. I believe I was told she's a prominent fortune teller down in Louisiana. Probably the most prominent one. It's interesting to see her here. I can only assume that whoever she's accompanying hired her on, or offered her some kind of deal in order to join here. I'm worried about whoever that is. That could be anything. If it's an Ananasi, then fine. If they're doing something for their own breeds, their own groups, well. But very well, because she can get along with our kind. For all I know, that could be a large vampire. And she's working for him. Someone from Louisiana. I only briefly saw her. Just be careful.
All right. Let's see. Just so you're aware, the abomination that we discussed with you previously apparently has shown up.
He is one of our kin, in a way. He's kindred. The danger he could have, well, I'm sure he's very powerful, blessed by both his wolf spirit and our blood. He is Ravnos, yes?
Yes, that is what we learned.
Then I wonder how he has mastered the trickery of the Ravnos. And if so, what kind of danger does that bring to us with him even there? Their kind is rare, and even rarer to survive this long. And if he is here, that means he must have either plans of his own, or I don't know. I would keep an eye on him, though.
Honestly, I'd rather be very, very far distant from him. Unless it's the smoking hole where his body once was. To be entirely honest, it terrifies me.
It should. There's a reason that most of those creatures, when attempted to create, die. They say our blood is poison, as theirs is drinkable, but has a potency to it. It is stronger than human blood, but it also brings out our own beast.
Hmm.
A trade-off. I'll leave you to your work. And I will let you know the timing. We'll have to meet and talk about it.
I would also like to let you know of a possible, somewhat breach in etiquette. While we were in Berlin, Nefertiti attempted to gain control of myself and the others in my company. And while we were able to throw off thraldom, I was wondering if perhaps you knew of any way to reinforce our individuality.
Personally, I haven't had to deal with much with that. A strong will get you through much. Though there is a number of abilities that some of our kin have that could give that to you.
All right.
Alright, I guess you'll leave her then.
Yep.
And then Dawn is going to meet with Mr. Cromwell and Lucy.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, Dawn. How good it is to see you. I'm sorry. Lucy just stepped out to do some shopping. She'll be back in a little bit.
Ooh.
Is there anything I can do to help, or were you coming to meet with her? I know the two of you like spending some time together.
Oh, she's great.
That she
But,
is.
Actually, I have some questions. And Dawn whacks out this notepad she's written.
Okay.
Okay. I wrote it down because I'd forget.
Yes.
And I'll try and like stand next to him and show him my notepad. Like, okay. Do you know who these nuns are? Because why are they nuns?
Yes. They're only dressed as nuns. They are, I believe, the Sisters of Hippolyta. They're a lesser group of mages.
Oh, so it's not a kink thing. Okay.
Yes. They seem to be part of some kind of alliance that forms a kind of third power structure in the mages group. They're against the normal mage traditions, and also don't like the technocracy. And so a number of groups have formed a sort of alliance together, and they're a member of it. Granted, whether or not these group here are here for their own rights, or for some other reason. I changed his accent. I just realized I changed his accent. Whatever. It's fine.
Nothing wrong with it.
You got a lot of people to talk as today, so
Yeah.
we'll be forgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm unsure why they're exactly here. But they, wanted to join.
So Dawn just writes, "Don't mess with the witches."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who else was there? There's a detective here.
Ah, yes, Mr. Yes, the detective Gerhard Liebner. This is a very tough one to talk about, as I would like to keep the man's privacy, but what's the best way of describing this? Detective Gerhardt is no longer there.
Okay. Dawn just writes a big question.
Are you aware much of, how certain aspects of biblical teachings are true and false at the same time? Similar to Cain is supposed to be the predecessor of us all. Yes. From the story of Cain and Abel. Well, it does seem that parts of the story of some of the Bible are theoretically true, at least in a sense. How do I explain this in a way that you would understand? Satan, Lucifer. Yes. Fallen angel. There was a group of creatures that fell from grace. There was a actual Lucifer. Theoretically.
Okay.
That is what he is.
Ah.
Arimal. Emerged from the abyss and found his way into a Mr. Liebner.
Okay, so not actual detective. That's
Well, I think he's taken up it just well. The thing about Aramel is that he predicted. It is said that he predicted this fall. Anyway, as demons go, he's not so bad.
I mean,
The fallen demons are actually reasonable. There are many types of fiends. It becomes very hard to tell them all apart and where they came from. So let me just put it this way: he is of a sort which tends to be less bad for us as beings on this plane.
just right. Pretty cool demon man.
Sure, we'll go for that.
Sorry, Nathan will know what I mean.
I
just
hope
have to
so.
remember keywords. Keywords and I'm good.
Yes.
I'm the muscle.
Ooh, Mr. McDowell.
Yes. There are definitely other types of things that we have to worry about, such as the malevolent spirits that I fight against.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know?
I know it's a very confusing thing, but trust me when I say there... Just as there's many different varieties of our kind, there are many varieties of their kind. I hope
No
that
one
helps
to
you, that
judge.
one.
Yeah, I think I
Alright.
kind of get it.
Alright then. Any other questions then?
Mr. McDowell.
Ah,
It's got a white
yes.
suit. It's pretty flashy.
Mr. McDowell's a very odd man to be here. He's a member of the Syndicate. Technocrat.
Ooh. Don't want him and the nuns hanging out.
Yes. Just... I'm not sure why he's here. I believe one of the artifacts, though, that is up for grabs is something that could be related to mages. Perhaps they want to study it or to destroy it. I don't know.
Okay.
Any other questions?
There's Nug.
Ah, yes.
I think that's how it's spelled.
Not done yet. Hi. Go. Bye, Aurora. Yes. All I can tell you is the man... I don't think he's using his actual name. And I am aware that he is Bali.
Okay.
I don't know if he... I have very high doubts that he's taking his name from one of the... I have doubts that he actually is, but I know he's taking his name from one of the founders of the Bali. I'm honestly surprised a member of the Bali showed up. They are... dangerous. Are you aware of them?
A little.
Alright,
Nathan's department.
to make this simple, they worship demons. Not like the detective demons, like the demons I fight demons.
Ah, okay, the super bad ones.
Yes. The ones that are incarnations of the abyss itself brought manifest upon our world.
Mm-hmm.
You hung
Okay.
out with your good friend, the one that passed away, I'm sorry, Leslie. You were aware that he drew his powers from the abyss, which is effectively a shadow realm that could also be described as some form of hell.
That explains a lot about Leslie, yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of speculation on the exact essence of the abyss, and there seems to be much to it. That the Sombra only tap into a small part of it. And other things, like wraiths find their time there. Well, wraiths that go there are usually bound to some form of hell from whatever afterlife that exists. And it functionally is some form of shadow hell, in a way.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it would be akin to what the religious people would call a hell.
Hmm.
It's really an interesting thing, because if I would believe what some of the other cultures teach, no. I will not get... I was going to get into a pseudo-religious argument about, like, the nature of where the mythologies of both the Garu and the Kindred meet, and the mythologies of the various supernatural creatures that build a world that seems to be a mixture of certain things which were gotten right by Christianity and Judaism and their offshoots, and things that they did not get right. But I digress.
I expect that did not get right is a lot longer than the other.
It's interesting that there's a core of truth in a lot of what they say. When you introduce supernatural elements to anything, it does actually add into stuff. Think of it this way. As I said, I'm one that believes in the Book of Nod, though I might not myself a true Nodist, like some of my peers. So, I've had a belief that Caine existed. At least in some form, and brought forth us all. Now, whether it was a god or some form of powerful creature that, similar to that the werewolves worship, hard to say. Anyway, any other questions?
Maybe how much he might be willing to help with any of our various physical requirements of this week.
Things get really dirty. Do you reckon you might lend a hand so I don't get squished?
I can see what I can do if I am needed to help.
Only if things get desperate. I know you're busy.
I can see what I can do.
That would be great. Well, I think that's everything. If I think of anything else, I can always ask Lucy later if I see her. Oh.
Alright. And you'll head back and meet with each other to discuss everything you learned. All the fun things you've learned.
I just show my notepad to Nathan like I did it.
Excellent.
It's a little confusing because she's talking about probably like 2 different types of demons or something, and I don't know.
A lot of spelling mistakes.
Wonderful.
A few where, Cromwell crossed out and wrote it for me in his nice handwriting.
Did you ask him how Jay came to be invited?
Oh, I forgot about Jay.
It's understandable. It's a single letter amidst a cacophony of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of names.
Yes.
I mean, if you actually look on the ledger, he spelled his name J-Y. So the actual name Jay. But yeah.
I'll ask Lucy. Apparently she's shopping.
Hmm.
You know, she knows a lot about the whole operation of things as well.
Excellent.
So, but anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to leave it off. Everybody is present at the hotel. That,
oh boy.
Places...
We still need to meet the mage, though. The mage that's in charge.
Yes, you still have to meet the Frank's mentor.
Yep. Yep.
Frank in the Yeezy for show in the house, maging it up. What?
Should we want candy about Frank? Because he's shouting that he's a mage.
Mm-hmm.
Or should we just let him think, or let her think that he's just like coked the fuck out and is an idiot?
I mean, what would you think? I haven't seen him do anything.
Maybe he can pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Or somewhere. We shall see. Perhaps we should go talk to him and see if there's any bad feelings about London.
I hope there is.
And if you're interested in what he is a virtual adept.
Don't tell us.
You will find that out.
He's gonna shout it at us.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
He is going to shout it at you. Good old virtual adepts. They are mages that believe in things like the connections of the World Wide Web and stuff, and using that to advance it.
Oh no.
So he is technology-based mage.
I wonder if he is a technocrat.
They are technology-based mages that aren't technocrats. Because technocrats have a certain way of thinking about it. The virtual adepts kind of combined old thinking and new thinking. You have to think about them doing. So they're somewhere in between. They are closer to the technocrats. So they could understand the technocrats because the technocrats believe in like magic through technology almost.
But they believe in technology through magic.
Yes. Sort of like a little bit the opposite. Yeah.
Cool.
One of the factions is just cyberpunk.
Yes.
Reality coders, explorers.
Yep.
Wait, cypherpunks? That's one as well?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is great.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
I wonder which... Chaoticians.
Yep, chaoticians.
I love it.
He is probably the worst virtual adept ever. Because he's just he's still being a bad pimp.
One of the other names for Nexplorers is console cowboys.
Yep.
Or cybernauts.
Ride that PS5.
Yep. Anyway, let's leave it here. 'Cause that's a great place to leave it at. So, let's go around, give shout-outs to who you are, where to find you, and all that stuff. I will do reverse order of where I went in the beginning. So we'll start with Jess and Dawn.
Oh, that's me.
Yes.
I am Bubblegum Viking. Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Not sure if I was supposed to be playing Portal 2 tomorrow, but I have the dentist, so that's not happening because I'm gonna soak all day. I hate the dentist. And then I'm gonna go plant my chilies and my pickles. I'm gonna grow pickles.
Pickles are so good.
Definitely in a whole jar of pickles this week.
Whole jar pickles. Carpe.
I am the Carpe Diem. You can find other games that I've run on YouTube. YouTube.com/thecarpediem, I'm pretty sure. And otherwise, give me a shout on Twitter, and I'll run a game for you.
And Worm. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
I wonder how long I've been muted for.
Probably a bit.
Yeah, it's fine. Probably the only thing I said of value is, suffice it to say, I'm extremely lost as to who anybody is.
It's for the best. There's a lot of people here, and they're going to have a lot of interactions, which is going to be a challenge for me to keep track of. Because there's a lot of people that hate each other.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm and at DiamondWorm on Twitter. I'll do stuff eventually. I got a lot of stuff planned. It's just... a lot of stuff is just pending me. Just pending life.
Yeah. Life pens
But once
you
that
a lot.
happens, I'm planning to get right back into streaming full force. When I eventually get back into it. Probably even add in YouTube videos.
Ooh, spiffy.
Woo!
Anyway.
Yep. And I'm your illustrious storyteller, Dracovin. You can find me here pretty often if you're looking for more RPGs. Children of Wrath should be this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a D&D game set in a Magic the Gathering world, Dominaria. And there should be Grinding Gears on Sunday, which is a D&D game run by Joe, who shows up on this channel a bunch of times. And also in some of my games. So he's running it, and I get to be a player. Otherwise that, I'll probably stream some, like, 7 days. I do want to add some more games. I keep saying I'm going to add more games in the selection, but it's sort of just like, again, that kind of life schedule. It's very easy for me to throw in 7 days and play it. So that's why I've been doing it a lot. Other than thinking about, like, oh, I want to do something else. There's a few other ones that I'm getting very tempted to throw into stream. So I'll probably come up with a better schedule soon. Soonish. And, I think that's it, though. So, you know, just check me out here. If I'm going live, I'll throw up my stuff on Discord and Twitter. But have yourself a great rest of your day. Hopefully we'll be back next week. It's on the schedule. And we can continue some adventures and see about this auction finally starting. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
So, have yourself a great rest of your Tuesday and great rest of your week. And we'll hopefully see you here next week. Bye, everyone.